Hi, I'm Shashank. I'm leading data engineering projects for SADA India. Basically, I'm responsible for executing all data projects which are implemented by SADA India across India as well across the world. Over to you, Karan.
Hi everyone, I am the founder of Logibricks. We are a 6-year-old startup. I'm a struggling entrepreneur. We've seen gloomy days, we've seen dark days, we've seen sunny days, and now normal days. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, let's kick off this fireside chat then. So I've heard in bits and pieces the Logibricks story, Karan, but give us a glimpse of how this really path-breaking startup started, how it grew, and where it is today.
To be honest, I don't think it is path-breaking. Got back, sorry. Hello. So we started the company in 2017, which is about 6 years back. We were an ERP product, so we were kind of competing with the Ramcos and SAP B1s of the world. We've done a lot of implementations, mostly small and mid-sized businesses. It was a full-blown ERP with purchase, sales, accounting, inventory, production, everything. Over the period of 3-4 years, we realized that it is not a business that can be scaled to 100x. Because when you try to sell to a small and mid-sized business, the requirement is that they need everything, anything and everything. So they're going to ask you to customize, build modules. In fact, our most pricey engagement was with one company where we initially quoted them 20 lakhs and ended up charging them 75 lakhs. So it was really kind of so we realized that it's not a space where we can actually build a SaaS product and scale to 100x. That is where in 2020 we decided to pivot. So in 2020, right around the lockdown time, we realized that e-commerce is now going to boom. And the closest product to an ERP that we could think of is an order management system for companies that are selling online on marketplaces, on their own website, and so on. So trying to automate all of their orders, trying to manage their inventory, warehouses, etc., etc. So we pivoted and we kind of got some initial traction. We had some 15-20 customers. That is where we decided to raise some capital. So we were initially bootstrapped right from the beginning, and in 2021 we raised $1.5 million. We thought we'll scale this thing. Eventually, within a year, we realized that this is also not something that we can really scale because for the customer, the switching cost is extremely high. So somebody, let's say a Mama Earth or a boat, right? Large companies that are doing lakhs of orders in a month, for them to train their team in the warehouse, etc., is very difficult. So then we again pivoted in 2022, which is last year. So we then got into the reconciliation space for online businesses. We primarily started with marketplaces, which is Amazon, Flipkart. So anybody who's selling online, anytime they get a settlement from the marketplace, we do an end-to-end reconciliation using a SaaS product. We are one of the first products that does this in a very detailed manner. We also do D2C reconciliation, that is website. We do COD reconciliation with integration with courier companies and so on. So it has been a very it's been a journey, a very challenging journey with ups and downs. And I think as an entrepreneur, it is very important to take the right decision to pivot at the right time.
Yeah, that's what I meant by path breaking, because the reconciliation part was really unique. So in this journey, right, you faced many challenges. What was the turning point which made you move to the cloud?
So, I mean, when we started, cloud was not very much used in India, right? I mean, I'm talking about 2016, 2017. Most of the enterprises were still on-prem. When you talk to an SMB, to a first generation entrepreneur, if you tell them that you're going to charge them recurring money for cloud expenses, they would never do it. They would just calculate and they would invest in a server. But I think there were two kind of turning points in the whole journey. First was with regards to performance. I still remember that for one of our customers, it was supposed to be an implementation where only 350 users were going to use the application. But they actually ended up giving it to 3,000 users on the field. That is where the whole thing crashed. I still remember I think it was 2018 August. Bahut gali padi thi. And then that time we started exploring cloud options. Even a virtual machine on the cloud is much better than an on-prem server is what we realized. And fast forward to 2023, we are totally on the cloud. We have a microservices architecture. We have very strong CI/CD infra. We use managed services for databases. We use identity management. We are like exploring and using a lot of cloud features. But this was one of the things. And the second thing was one of our customers had a ransomware attack on their server. They lost data of almost about 2 to 3 weeks because backups were not timely. I mean, you can't really ensure that somebody who's like a low-level IT employee can do proper backups, etc. So something failed there, and there was a loss of data. So we realized that no, we need to think about this, and cloud was one of the options that we started exploring at that time. And also one of the things I think I've realized over the last few years is that you might think that cloud is expensive, but if you take other things into account, like for example, downtime and performance issues, and you have to have employees to manage the whole thing, it's much, and electricity cost and maintenance cost and all of that. I think cloud is a much better option, especially for a smaller company.
Right. Yeah. So in terms of choosing the right platform, what were the key priorities while choosing GCP as a platform?
So to be very honest, we didn't start with GCP. I mean, GCP was not very well known to me or to my colleagues back in the day. So, I mean, if you just purely talk about cloud, I would say something to auto-scale our backend infrastructure was very important. So we got into Kubernetes. Something to ensure that we have managed services of databases, so that we don't have to do the heavy lifting of taking backups and managing read, write, etc. All of that is done in managed services. Identity management was one very important thing, so that user passwords and all are very securely stored. So we also recently got a SOC 2 certification because of that. Otherwise, to do the whole thing without cloud is very difficult. You have to do a lot of work yourself. Apart from this, I think even small things like CDN and being able to distribute the product in any part of the world just by one click, all of these are like kind of good features to have. And after the recent migration to GCP, we realized that GCP is also very, very strong, contrary to the view that I had 4 or 5 years back, but it's turned out to be like really good for us.
Okay, thank you. I mean, in life or in work, right, the role of a partner is really crucial, right? How did SADA help you to do the recent migration and help you transform into GCP?
To be honest, when I started so we were, I think about 2 years back, we were spending about $10,000 per month on the cloud. Looks like a big amount, but we were doing a lot of work on the cloud provider. We were on Azure at that time. When we started exploring other cloud options where we could save money, GCP was one of the options. So not just the cost of GCP, which is slightly lower, we were looking for partners who could help us do this transformation, do this migration from Azure to GCP. That is where one of your guys reached out to us, and I think one of the best things that I liked about you guys is that you never talked about money right from the beginning, right? You talked about our challenges. I still remember the first meeting was a very high-level meeting of our vision, our goals. Then the second meeting was to deep dive into the product, where we gave you a demo, we told you what we are looking for, etc. Then the next thing that you guys did was to do a full consulting engagement with us, which was free of charge, where you actually saw how much are we spending, what are the things that we are using, etc., and how we could save more money by optimizing the cloud infrastructure. So all of those things were great. And when we finally decided to move to GCP, I mean, obviously we needed a very aggressive migration plan, which was also one of the things that you gave. So very, very happy about, I mean, that's the reason why I'm talking about good things about you guys, because I think the migration was done in 4 to 5 weeks. And on top of everything, I think last 6 months, 4 or 5 months or so that we are working with you guys, your support has been really prompt. That has really helped us.
Thank you. I think we have the same feedback, because we got see, for any good project to be implemented, it has to be worked from both sides, and we got amazing support from the Logibricks team, and that's the personal feedback that the team members have given to me, and to shout it out to you. So thanks again. So this partnership obviously has worked well. So in terms of business benefits, or maybe any metrics, what are the key metrics that have improved or have changed for you, or anything that you can shed light upon?
I think in terms of numbers, the cost has come down. So we are now spending $7,000 a month instead of $10,000. Partly because of the pricing, partly because of the optimization that you guys helped us do. Second of all, we only have a very junior DevOps resource right now. So there is cost saving on that as well because you guys are helping us do this. Apart from that, I think one of the things that you guys really helped us to do is to build a very strong CI/CD pipeline. So when we have to push features out in the market, it is faster. You guys have helped us with feature flags and bunch of other things. So so the entire management of code base and DevOps and CI/CD is very, very streamlined. So faster going to market is one of the other things. Also, I think one of the things is very quick support that has helped us. So I remember that a few weeks back, there was a downtime because of some issue that had happened, and then we tried to Google and we found out that this is an issue that a number of people are facing. That's where I think within minutes I got Google engineers on the call. So very, very fast because we can't afford downtime for our customers. One of the other things is I still remember that when we were earlier, our application was slightly slower as well. So I remember we were doing a POC with a large customer that wanted to upload 5 lakh rows of Myntra sales data, right? It took them 40 minutes. And then now we can do this in under 2 minutes. So, I mean, definitely a lot of improvement in performance as well, reduction in error rates. And I mean, I'm not just trying to kind of praise you guys just for the sake of it, but this has really helped us, our company.
I'm really glad to hear that. So to conclude, right, we typically get a lot of questions from organizations. They still have doubts as to why they should be moving to the cloud. What would be your recommendations to them?
I think if anyone is kind of still thinking about this, they should just take the leap. I think our life has changed totally. We had a monolithic application that was deployed on IIS on an on-prem server 5 years back. We have a microservices architecture with React as the front end, deployed on Kubernetes service. Lot of cloud features have really helped us with the performance. We've used things like queuing. We use RabbitMQ for queuing, etc. So even if there are like 1,000 hits in 1 second, it can be managed with a queue. So a lot of these things that are otherwise very difficult to do is much easier to do it on the cloud. And another very important point, I think, for upcoming businesses is to make sure that their customers trust them. So we got the SOC 2 Type 2 certification because of many factors, and one important factor was that we use identity management, right? Earlier, we had our own identity servers to manage that, to prove that it is managed in the right way. All of this is expensive, it is difficult. Rather, just using an identity server also really helped us. So according to me, any company should, especially a startup or a smaller company, should focus on 2 things only: customer and product. Something like an infra or cloud, etc., should be left to somebody else to manage. They should not be at the point of my focus should not be on that as a founder. So I would recommend mostly everybody to kind of at least give it a shot.
Okay. Thank you. I think you summed up very beautifully what a startup or any new startup should be doing. Okay. I think I've got a lot of insights and a lot of inspiration for what you have been doing and you are planning to do. And I wish you all the best for that.
Thank you so much, Shashank. Thank you.